ॐ गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजं सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Prabodha Sudhakara. Let's chant the first sloka. Nityanandaikarasam Satchinmatram Swayam Jyotihi Purushottamamajam ईशं वन्दे श्रीयादवाधीशं पुरुषोत्तममजमीशं वन्दे श्रीयादवाधीशं। First sloka is Mangalacharanam, a prayer verse. In the prayer verse itself, the author has indicated the Vishaya and Prayojana of this text. Vishaya is the subject matter of Vedanta, which is the subject matter of this prakarana as well. The subject matter is Satchinmatram Swayam Jyotihi, the Satchidananda Brahma, which is non-different from the Atma. By saying Satchinmatram Swayam Jyotihi, the author has indicated the Vishaya of this text. It is Satchidananda Brahman. which is Purushottama. And what is the prayojana? The purpose. Purpose is also indicated in the same shloka. Nityanandaikarasam. Nitya Ananda is the purpose. Eternal happiness, permanent happiness is the purpose that one gets by studying the text. Now, let's proceed to the second shloka. Yam varnayitum sakshat Shrutirapi mukeva maunamacharati Sosmakam manujanam Kyum vachangocharo bhavati One of the most principal concepts in Vedanta Shastra is that Brahman is avachyam. Brahman or Paramatma is avachya. Avachya means it does not become the direct meaning of any word. Brahman is not the direct meaning of any word. Therefore, no word can refer to Brahman directly. Why Brahman cannot be referred to directly? This is explained in Vedanta Shastra. If any word has to function, it requires a Shabda Pravritti Nimitta. A factor that enables the functioning of a word on a given meaning. A factor that enables the functioning of a given word on a given meaning is called Shabda Pravritti Nimitta. A word can refer to a meaning only if it has Shabda Pravritti Nimitta. Only if the meaning has Shabda Pravritti Nimitta. Shabda Pravritti Nimitta is a property of the meaning. Only then the word can function on the meaning. Only then the word can refer to the meaning directly. There are four Shabda Pravritti Nimittas: Jati, Guna, Kriya and Sambandha. First one is Jati. Jati means a class. If a word, if a meaning, an object belongs to a particular class of objects, it has a particular word. For example, a cow. All cows in the universe belong to one class, one category, one group of objects. All of them have certain common features. That is why they all belong to one jati, one group of objects. That is why you can refer to any cow as cow. What enables the usage of the word cow to a particular object, to a particular animal? Because it belongs to a generality. It belongs to a class called cow. Therefore, Jati is the Shabda Pravritti Nimitta. When we use the word cow, likewise, tree. How can you call it tree? Because it belongs to a group of objects called a tree. On account of having certain characteristics, it belongs to a group of objects called a tree. Therefore, it is called a tree. That is how Jati works as a Shabda Pravritti Nimitta. Second one is Guna. Any attribute. For example, color. You can refer to an object with its color. For example, a white shirt. Bring the white shirt. You are referring to an object with the color, which is a guna. Then third one is sambandha, relation. We can refer to an object with a relation. For example, son of Devadatta. Call Devadatta's son. You are referring to somebody as the son of Devadatta. It is a relation. Through relation, you can use a word. There are many relation words like a son, daughter, etc. And fourth one is a kriya, action. You can introduce somebody or any object through an action. For example, driver. Call the driver. Who is a driver? Driver is a person who is associated with the particular action. One who is associated with the action of driving is called a driver. I can refer to a person with the action. Therefore, action, kriya, also serves as a shabda pravritti nimitta. Therefore, if a word has to refer to any given meaning directly, the object should have shabda pravritti nimitta. It should have jati, guna, kriya and sambandha. At least any one of these four should be there. Only then it can become a direct meaning of a particular word. Let us take the example of Krishna. Bhagavan Krishna. We have many names of Krishna. Now, regarding Krishna, I am asking you a question. I am using a particular name, Meghashyamaha. When I say Meghashyamaha, what shabda pravritti nimitta is working? Guna. I am referring to Krishna with the guna, his color. He is dark like a cloud. Through a guna, I am referring to Krishna. Through an attribute, I am referring to Krishna. And now I say Yadava. Krishna is Yadava, Jati. He belongs to a particular group of people called Yadavas. Therefore, Yadavaha, Jati. And then Vasudeva Sutaha, son of Vasudeva. What? Sambandha, relation. Gopalaha, what? Kriya. Gopala, he takes care of the cows. He is associated with an action, kriya. Therefore, we can refer to Krishna through jati, guna, kriya and sambandha, all four. It is possible because Krishna is saguna, saguna Brahma. But in the case of nirguna Brahma, there are none of these. Jati is not there. What is the jati of nirguna Brahma? No jati. Jati is possible only when there is plurality. Only when there are many, you can talk about a group. Brahman is one without a second. There is no group. Therefore, there is no jati. Therefore, the politicians who talk about jati has no work with Nirguna Brahma. Likewise, guna. There is no guna in Nirguna Brahma. That is why it is called Nirguna. No attributes, no color, no taste, ashabdam, asparsham, arupam, avyayam, ityadi. It has no gunas, no attributes, no size. What is the size of Brahman? It is infinite. In infinite, you cannot talk about a size. Which shoe will fit Brahman? 8-inch shoe or 9-inch shoe? If you have to fit a shoe to Brahman, first of all, there has to be leg. Brahman is niravayavaha. No parts, no avayavas. Therefore, no guna. Kriya, Nirguna Brahma is Nishkriya. Nirvikaraha and Nishkriya. Nirvikara and Nishkriya. No actions, no modifications. Therefore, you cannot say what Brahman does. Nishkriya. Therefore, you cannot refer to Brahman through any kriya, through any action. And sambandha. What sambandha does Brahman have? Any sambandha requires two. Sambandha vinishtha. Any relation depends on two objects. In Brahman, there is no duality. There is no dvaita. Therefore, no sambandha also. That is why it is very difficult to introduce Brahman. When you try to introduce Brahman to somebody, they will ask, what does Brahman do? That is how we generally get introduced to somebody. If there is one Mr. Devadatta, I tell you there is one Mr. Devadatta, and you ask me, what does he do? He is a driver. So who is his father? Relation. So he is Yajnadatta's son. So you want some relation. So action, relation. Then how does he look like? Is he very tall? Is he dark or fair? What is his complexion? What is his hair color? All gunas. And then sambandha. Sorry, what is left? Jati. What is his jati? Is he a human being or a monkey? So sometimes we may introduce. Ernakulam Krishnan. Who is Ernakulam Krishnan? It is the name of an elephant. So, if you go to Kerala, that is how they name elephants. When it sounds, you will think it is a gentleman's name, but it is an elephant's name. So, is he a human being or an elephant? Jati. So, all descriptions of any individual is pivoted around these four: Jati, Guna, Kriya and Sambandha. Now, my work is to introduce Brahman. That too not Saguna Brahma. It is easier to introduce Saguna Brahma. In the Kathas, they are introducing Saguna Brahma. They will talk about Krishna, Rama, etc. But here, in a Vedanta session, our goal is to introduce Nirguna Brahma. In fact, that is what we are trying to do. It is only an introduction. You have to introduce Brahman. It is the job of a Vedanta teacher. Now this Acharya says it is very difficult to introduce Brahman. Why very difficult to introduce Brahman? Because no word can introduce Brahman directly. Why? Shabda pravritti nimitta shunyatvat. Brahman does not have any of the Shabda pravritti nimitta. You ask what Brahman does. Does Brahman have a job? No job. He has no job. Does he have any color, complexion? No complexion. No height, no weight. Does he have any father or son, father or mother? No father, no mother. Paramatma does not have father or mother. There is a beautiful shloka about Ganesha. The author describes Ganesha. Mata maha mahat mahashailam mahastadapita maham. Ganesha's Mata maha. So Ganesha is described with his grandfather, maternal grandfather and paternal grandfather. Who is Ganesha's maternal grandfather? No, Ganesha. Himalaya Parvata. Parvata Raja. Parvata Raja is the father of Parvati. Therefore, Ganesha's maternal grandfather is Mahashailam, the great mountain Himalaya. So, maternal grandfather is there. Who is the paternal grandfather? The author says Apitamaham. Father is Shiva. Who is Shiva's father? Shiva does not have a father. Shiva is Ishvara. Ishvara has no birth. Ajam nirvikalpam. He is Aja, no birth. Therefore, Brahman does not have any sambandha. Therefore, no word can introduce Brahman directly. No Brahman can denote, no word can denote Brahman directly. Therefore, the author is expressing his difficulty. I am writing this text. And if I have to write a text, I have only one tool with me. What is the tool? Words. Text is in the form of words. And I have to introduce Brahman. And no Brahman, no word can introduce Brahman directly. The author is expressing his helplessness, his difficulty. Now one may ask, you cannot express with words, but then there is the Shruti Pramana. The Shruti. Can't the Shruti express Brahman with words? Can't the Shruti reveal Brahman directly with words? The author says, even the Shruti cannot refer to Brahman directly. Even the Shruti cannot do it. Then how can people like us do it? See the verse. Yam sakshat varnayitum Shrutirapi mukeva maunamacharati. Even the Shruti, Shrutirapi, even the Vedas. Yam sakshat varnayitum. It cannot refer to Brahman directly. Therefore, mukeva maunamacharati. The Shruti remains silent, as though silent, not really silent, because the Shruti has words, as though silent, like a mute, like one who cannot speak. Muka iva, like a muka, like a dumb. Meaning, the Shruti cannot refer to Brahman directly. The Shruti cannot refer to Brahman as a vachyartha, as a direct meaning of any word. Why? Shabda pravritti nimitta shunyatvat. Because Brahman does not have a Shabda pravritti nimitta. Therefore, the author says, Sosmakam manujanam kim vacham gocharo bhavati. Asmakam manujanam. The Shruti itself cannot express Brahman directly. Then what we human beings do? What can we human beings do? Asmakam manujana. We ordinary human beings. Our words, vacham, our words, gocharo bhavati, kim gocharo bhavati. How can it become an object of our words when even Shruti cannot refer to it directly? The idea is Brahman is not vachyartha of any word. Brahman cannot be referred by any word directly. Therefore, the Shruti has to use an indirect way of revealing Brahman. The Shruti cannot refer to Brahman directly. Therefore, the Shruti makes use of an indirect way of revealing Brahman. See the next verse. Yadyapyevam viditam tathapi paribhashito bhavedeva adhyatma shastra saraihi harichintana kirtanabhyasaihi Brahman is not available to any other praman. Pratyakshadi praman cannot function on Brahman. In our day-to-day life, we know objects through two pramanas, two means of knowledge. One is pratyaksha pramana, direct perception. Another is anumana, inference. Most of the things are known through pratyaksha pramana, through direct perception. For example, what is there in front of me? I can see pratyaksha pramana. There is microphone in front of me. Then whether this microphone is working or not, how to know? With the Shrotrendriya, with my ears, with my sense of hearing, I find this microphone is working properly. It is also pratyaksha. Likewise, we learn many other things through pratyaksha, through direct perception. And certain things are known through inference, anumana pramana. For example, the rain forecast. Whether it will rain today or not. How do you know? There are clouds. If you see clouds, you can make an inference. There are clouds. Therefore, it will rain today. You have made an inference. You have used your reasoning to understand it may rain today because there are clouds. Our day-to-day life is conducted with these two pramanas, Pratyaksha and Anumana. Now, Brahman is not available for both Pratyaksha Pramana as well as Anumana Pramana. Not available for Pratyaksha. Why not available for Pratyaksha? Because it does not have any attributes. What do we see with our eyes? We can see if anything has a color or a form. Brahman does not have a color, does not have a form, therefore not available for eyes. Does not have sound, therefore not available for ears. Does not have a touch, therefore not available for our Tvagindriya, sense of touch. Does not have a smell, therefore not available for Granendriya. And does not have taste, therefore not available for the Rasanendriya. Therefore, not Pratyaksha. One cannot know Brahman through Pratyaksha Pramana. Nirgunatvat. Since Brahman is Nirguna, not available for Pratyaksha Pramana. That is why if one tries to see Brahman, it is not possible. Many people ask, if there is Brahman, why I don't see? You don't see because your eyes are not capable of seeing. Eyes are not devised to see Brahman. Leave Brahman. Eyes cannot see many other things also. Even the radio waves here, the eyes cannot see. Just because we cannot see the radio waves, it does not mean it does not exist. There are many things in the world that we don't see. Just because we don't see it, we cannot deny its existence. Brahman is not available for Pratyaksha Pramana. Likewise, not available for Anumana, not available for inference. Kathopanishad says, Naisha tarkena matirapaneya Aniyan hyatarkyamanu pramanat. Not available for tarka, not available for inference. That is why, if anybody tries to understand Brahman with his intellectual ability, with his reasoning ability, he cannot understand Brahman. There have been many scientists, many logicians, many philosophers. They try to understand the ultimate truth purely with the help of their intellect, purely with the help of their reasoning. All of them have failed to know the presence of Brahman. Because reasoning is not a means to understand Brahman. Reasoning can only show the possibility of such a presence. It cannot affirm the presence of Brahman. It requires some more discussion. It will become clear as you get into Vedanta. Therefore, we need another pramana, another means of knowledge to understand Brahman, to know Brahman, to realize Brahman. What is the pramana? The only pramana that comes to our help is the Vedanta Vakya, the statements of Vedanta. Vedanta Vakya is the only pramana that reveals the Brahman. Naveda manute tam brahantam. The Upanishad says, Naveda manute tam brahantam. One who does not take the help of the Vedas, one who does not take the help of the Vedanta Vakya, he cannot know Brahman. Na manute, he does not understand Brahman. Therefore, Vedanta Vakya or Upanishad Vakya is the pramana, the means of knowledge. And the Vedanta Vakya is in the form of words. Again, it is in the form of words. Now see the difficulty. Words are the pramana. Words are the only pramana to understand Brahman. Therefore, only the words have to reveal the Brahman. But unfortunately, no word can refer to Brahman directly. This is the difficulty in Vedanta. The Vedanta has to reveal Brahman. Brahman can be revealed only by words. And no word can reveal Brahman, no word can denote Brahman directly. With all these difficulties, in spite of all these difficulties, the Shruti tackles the problem. The Shruti reveals the Brahman with the help of words. How? By using an indirect method of revealing the truth. It is called Lakshana, the indirect way of revealing the Brahman with the words is called Lakshana. Therefore, the author says, Yadyapyevam viditam, even though all such problems are understood, yet, tathapi, yet, paribhashito bhavedeva, the Brahman is definitely revealed by the Shruti. The Brahman is definitely taught by the Shruti, using words alone. Now, since the Shruti has used an indirect method of teaching, we need to make a special effort. The process of teaching is intricate, subtle. Therefore, even the student has to make special effort. If the subject matter is gross, it is easy to understand. One does not have to make too much effort. Like in the case of a story, when you read a novel, you don't need to make too much of effort to understand. But it is not so with a text like Vedanta. We need some effort. First of all, Shraddha is needed. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. A lot of Shraddha is needed. Even a little bit of Shraddha does not suffice. Lot of Shraddha is needed. A little bit of Shraddha is sometimes shaken. One should have very strong Shraddha. One should trust the Vedanta Shastra and the one who teaches the Vedanta Shastra. Guru Padishta Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha. One should have trust. Shraddha is very important. Then commitment. Tat paraha. One should be committed. Committed to the pursuit of jnana. Only when there is commitment, we make effort to listen to Vedanta. We make effort to understand Vedanta. If there is no commitment, there are many excuses. Why I didn't attend the class? So many excuses are there. Tatparaha. One should have commitment, and the pursuit should be his top priority. And sanyatendriyaha. One should have restraint over the senses. Indriya nigraha is very important. When the Indriya Nigraha is not there, when the senses are not restrained, one gets distracted from the pursuit. Often people get distracted in the pursuit of moksha. Something else tempts, something else attracts. Therefore, special effort is needed. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om